Hi, Ian. It's Pam. I was delayed in starting the meeting, and I need to email Myra and let her know that I'm on.
Okay.
Um, let's see.
Okay. Hey, oops.
Oh, there she is. All right.
I couldn't
I
get in.
apologize, everyone. No, that was my fault. I
Oh.
had a Zoom meeting that was scheduled to end right at noon, and I forgot that Philip was not going to be here today to get the meeting started. So he's
Ah,
at a conference. I was out sick yesterday, and so I'm
ah,
not at 100%.
I'm
me
sorry.
either. I'm sick, so I'm gonna stay as long as I can.
Oh
Okay.
no, you sound sick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I sound like a smoker.
Yeah.
Luckily, it didn't hit me until yesterday, so I was able to sing on Sunday. But boy, I was lucky.
All right.
Yeah. Well, 5 of us are here now.
6, because I count.
6.
Yeah.
Oh wait, someone else
Saren,
is
Ian,
coughing too.
Yeah, I'm
It's
here.
me.
Saren, Ian, Jim,
Jim.
Elise, yeah, and
Yeah.
myself. So there are 6 of us, so we can get started.
Okay.
All right.
Um, so pursuant to Chapter 2 of the Acts of 2025, extended through June 30th of 2027, the ability of public bodies to meet in a fully remote or hybrid manner, oh gosh, so you can tell that I am like really tired and sick. The Commission for Persons with Disabilities is meeting virtually Tuesday, May 20th, 2025. Members of the public who wish to access the meeting may do so via Zoom or by telephone. No in-person attendance of members of the public will be permitted, but every effort will be made to ensure that the public can adequately access the proceedings in real time via technological means. So the first order of business is roll call.
Okay. All right. So we know Pamela is here. Elise
I'm here.
and Jim
Yep.
and Saren
Yes.
and Myra. Yes. And Ian.
Yes, here.
Yay. Okay. And Cody.
Cody is not here, and I do not recall whether I heard from him whether he was available for
Yeah, I
this
did
meeting or
not
not.
hear from him.
Yeah. So.
Okay. All right. Okay, so we have a few orders of business. The first one is we have to cement the plan for the movie that we're going to show on July 16th in the Bangs apparently at 5:30. Is that right?
So we have the room set up, reserved from 5:30 because they want you to reserve the room for like a half an hour before. And so I think we have the room reserved for 3 hours from 5:30 to 8:30 to give us time to set up and to clean up. So we could start the movie at 6 p.m. I don't remember what the length of the time was for the showing of the movie.
I don't remember. Frankly, I can't even remember the name of the film. Oh my God. I was trying to find it and I didn't look hard enough. But so what do people think is a good start? Is it better 5:30 or 6?
Mm,
Well, we'd have
Five.
to, if we go for 5:30, we'd have to get in there at 5, I believe. Is that right? Really, to set things up and make sure everything is ready.
Yeah, so I'll take care of the setup, but yeah, we'd want to, if we started the movie at 5, we'd want to, give ourselves at least a half an hour for setup. It's just downstairs and so
How long is the movie?
that I cannot recall.
None of us seems to know. Does anybody even remember the name of the movie?
I
Isn't it
can
riding something?
Yes, the
Is
word ride is in
The,
it.
the road we ride or something?
The road
the-
we ride, something
The
like that.
road. The road
not
ahead, the ride ahead, the
Yeah.
The
ride,
ride ahead, the ride ahead.
the ride
Oh,
ahead, the
Mm,
road
okay.
ahead. Yeah, because I said road and somebody corrected me.
Oh, right.
So, okay, ride ahead.
Mhm.
All right. So, and we don't know the length
I'm-
of it, but let's assume
Yeah.
It's
an
an
hour and a
hour
half.
and yeah, it's an hour and 37 minutes if I'm looking
Oh.
at the right movie.
So if we were to start the film at 5:30, what would be the advantage to starting at one or the other? I'm concerned about transportation for anybody who might want to come and see it.
Mhm.
But all the
Well,
transportation is going to run even 7:30 or 8. We're okay with that, right? All the buses, all the I mean, if people want to come and live near a bus route that stops at 7:30, they won't be able to get home. So I'm not sure where the bus routes, in Amherst stop or what happens in the summertime, actually.
The 33 kind of, if does not go back into town. It's past 7:30 or even. It's like, yeah,
So 5:30
5:30
would
is better.
seem better, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
What time did you reserve the room for? 5 o'clock?
Yes.
Okay. Um, well, then we better give ourselves some time for people to show up and everything, right?
So
S-
if we have the movie starting at 5:30, we can advertise the event starting at 5 o'clock, and then people can, or say that the refreshments are available beginning at 5, and then the movie will start at 5:30. That gives folks plenty of time to sort of get there, and then the movie will end if you start at 5:30. It'll end at a little after
7:07.
7.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So people will
So,
be out by 7, could be out by 7:15. I was just wondering even if it needs to be earlier. Well, if we have all the people, we can start the movie at 5:20, right? I
yeah,
mean, nobody says we don't have to
right.
advertise the time of the starting time for the movie. We can say that the event starts at 5,
Mhm.
right?
Okay.
And that gives us freedom. If there's, if nobody else is coming in, we can start the film. And then people, well, no, because people have to arrange transportation to get picked up. But now the question also is about where do people wait for a van if they have to wait well beyond the time that they requested it? Because we don't want people to get thrown out of the building.
Well, the
Yeah.
building will stay open as long as we're here. No one's going to close the building. There are lots of actual events that are here after, because the building officially, in quotation marks, closes at 4 or 4:30.
Oh my
But,
God.
there are lots
Mhm.
of events here in the evenings that go well and past that time. But there's generally, unless unless the event is sponsored by a particular department, there typically is no staff besides the facilities folks in the building after 4:30.
Hmm.
And
Here's
Cody just
Cody.
joined. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, very cool. So I guess that the question is, I want to make sure that people, I mean, it's not going to be 20 degrees, but I want to make sure that people can safely wait somewhere for a van to
Oh,
pick them up.
Not a problem. I will
Okay,
not leave, nor will either Philip or I will be here
okay,
until the close of the event and
okay, thank
everyone
you.
is there. Yeah.
Okay. Cody, we just decided we're going to start the movie event on July 16 at 5 o'clock. And we can start showing the film whenever we feel like there are enough people, but not after 5:30. So we'll give people time to come, but we're not going to say that the showing will start at 5:30 because it'll give us time to begin. I mean, we're not building in any processing time for this, right? Yeah, we should
Um,
maybe.
yeah. So why don't why don't in the advert, in the poster that we put together, and I'll share that with everyone, we'll say the event starts at 5 and the movie will start at 5:15. If we leave it open, then people will just wander in or
Yeah,
may just
okay.
wander in.
That's good. And 5:15 is good. And then we can leave a little bit of discussion time for after. And that, because it'll be over by well before 7. And if we say, yeah, 7:30. So we should tell people to get picked up at 7:15, 7:30, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So we have to have an end time so people know, because the
Mhm.
vans never show up anyway on time. Okay. Anybody,
right.
so we have to send that information to Amy in Northampton, and she's putting together the flyer?
Well,
Or-
we'll put together a flyer. We'll send it to Amy as well, but we'll put together a flyer in this office for posting on the Amherst Town website as
Right,
well, so that
right.
folks here in the community will know that it's available for them to come. And we won't do a registration, but we might just we'll just, we'll plan on maybe 20 people coming in. We'll get snacks uh and stuff available for that, which will probably be like water and some juice and some like little mini bags of like popcorn or chips or something like that. Just
Oh,
stuff
popcorn's a pain to clean up.
yeah.
You don't want
Well,
to do that because we have to clean it up.
no, well, we have a facilities person here, so
Okay.
yeah, so don't worry, you're
Popcorn
not,
gets all over the place.
yeah.
Okay, now I'm wondering if some people at least ought to be previewing this movie so we know what we're showing and we know what questions we might want to pose to the audience. I mean, it would be sort of stupid to show up unaware of everything for this thing we're allegedly hosting.
Mhm.
So,
I think Cody said Cody, didn't you say that you had seen the movie? Or no?
What movie?
Oh, sorry, the ride ahead.
Yeah, yeah.
I think it's road.
No, it's right.
It's right.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So maybe Cody, could we impose upon you to maybe just come up with 3 or 4 questions that you think would be good for us to
Yeah.
ask?
Yeah.
even 2 or 3 would be
Yeah.
okay. It doesn't have
Yeah.
to be 4. But
Yeah.
we're purchasing what from these people? First, the numbers that they gave Pamela and me were like, are you kidding me? And then she came back with a lower number because we're a public entity.
Yeah.
So we're paying her 500, 200.
Yeah, I think it's like it's under $500.
But do we own it then? Or is that just the rights for a month? Or what is that?
I'd have to go back to look at the email
Yeah, I
to
really
see,
forgot.
but I believe that it's just for viewing rights for a nonprofit. Let me see what I can find.
But it would seem to me that we should, at least I'd want to preview it if I'm hosting it. I don't know if anybody else feels that way about it, but
Can we catch it on YouTube?
no,
Okay.
because they charge like $500 to get to see it.
Oh, you never know. You never know. Sometimes these
I
things.
mean, somebody stole it and put it up. I don't know.
Okay, let's see.
I don't even remember her name. You have a better storage system than I do. You couldn't have a worse one.
Well, I'm looking at their website now.
Oh,
So
she sent us an email with the price.
right, yeah.
And I mean, we can look for it, but we could go on with the meeting. But anyway,
Okay.
Pamela said we could afford it. So we're
Yes,
going to afford it.
We
So
do
in
have the money for it.
In the interim, what we need to do is we'll find out what the deal is about how many days we actually have it, and how many showings we can do, and if we can preview it, because if we could, I don't even know, we'd have to all be in the same place to preview it, I suspect. But if we could figure out how to do that prior to the date, I think it would be good, at least if anybody wants to see it. I think I would like to if I can. I'm away part of June, but anyway, okay, so we have a deal. We have a July 16th. The other two towns, Northampton is doing July 30th. And I believe East Hampton is doing July 2nd,
It is the
Which-
second, yeah.
which I cannot attend, but um so they're each going to be on a Wednesday. There's 3 films. I don't know what films they're showing. And this is a collaborative effort. So I guess we are all going to be advertising the films from the other 2 people as well, the other 2 towns as well.
Yes, when they send that information, we will definitely
Yeah,
do
I
it.
think Amy was saying she's going to put together the 3-town brochure. That's what
Okay,
the sense that I had was that she's going to do that, which is fine with me. Okay. Anyway, so when we get more information by the June meeting, we'll know specifics about what everybody's doing. Okay. Next on the agenda, which I have to find. Hold on.
If I could just get some clarification, Myra, is Pamela, are you picking up refreshments beforehand? Is that something?
yeah,
Yeah.
hold on
I've
one
seen you
second.
many times in Stop and Shop getting things for me.
Yes, it's true. It's very true. The Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Office has a small budget, and so I will be making sure that we have snacks and everything available. So you don't have to worry about that. We have money to cover the cost, and I will make sure that there's snacks here.
Does anyone have a preferred snack? You mean you might want to get what you like, right?
Yes. So my preference would be that your snack is available at Costco or Stop and Shop. Those are
Yes,
my 2 places for shopping.
that would be, no, I mean, Costco sells those boxes with the little skinny pop bags.
Right, exactly. So that's typically,
'Cause-
and we have several events going on in the month of June. So we already have some array of snacks. We have, so I'll probably supplement what we have. We have trail mix. We have a variety of chips. We have, I believe, Oreo cookies,
Okay, that'll do.
and then we would get some, I'd get some popcorn. So I'll
An
supplement.
assortment of junk food.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, exactly.
okay.
If you want something healthy, tell me, and I can do that as well.
If you want something healthy, bring it yourself. All right. Okay, I don't know what people would want. But anyway, we can talk about that specifically in June, about the menu.
Mhm.
Now, the Accessible Trails bill had a meeting May 8th, which was even before this meeting was supposed to have taken place. So they had a public hearing. Did anybody go?
I'm on the committee for that, so I was there.
Were there a lot of people?
Yeah, I think 80 to 100.
Wow. That's a lot of people. Now, was that a public hearing before the legislature, or was that just an information meeting for the public?
Just a info session and to gather feedback. So the developers can use the feedback.
Uh-huh. Did you hear anything that you didn't expect? Anything new?
Now just here standard. I will say Wi-Fi Wi-Fi came up a lot. If
Wi-Fi?
you- Yeah, if you are in the woods or a trail, you may not have Wi-Fi. And what if you have an emergency?
Oh, wow. Yeah, there usually isn't Wi-Fi in the woods.
Yeah. Another idea is emergency boxes on the trail.
Aha, okay. Like the blue boxes?
Yeah, yeah.
Interesting. I never even thought about that. Okay. Were there any legislators there, or was it just for the organizers to get the information to pass on to the legislature?
Just the public and the developers.
Okay,
They
right.
got another one in September.
They're gonna bring it back in September? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't think there's anything we need to know specifically now. We sent a letter, right, in support, right, Pamela? We authorized
Yeah,
that.
we sent a letter in support last year. So when it was first proposed.
Yeah, I thought we were supposed to send that again because it's a different legislature. So maybe we can just change the date and send it again.
Okay. All right.
I don't even know if we have, is there a bill number, Cody? Cody,
You're muted.
I am?
No, Cody's
No.
muted.
Okay.
That should be available on any information they
Yeah.
sent.
So we just have to find out if, yeah, we have to find out if there's a bill, and then we can change the letter to reflect the new bill number and the new date, but we are still at, right? We don't, do we need to vote on that again? Yeah,
We
maybe
probably
do.
should. And
Yeah, we do.
well,
Okay, somebody make a motion about supporting the accessible trails.
I'll make a motion. It's Ian.
Okay, we need a second.
I said,
Okay, cool.
Oh,
Everybody
and
in,
as part of the motion to include resending the letter to the new legislature.
yeah, that's the motion.
Yep.
Yeah. The motion would be that we send another letter about the accessible
Mhm.
trails. Okay, so we can do that, and we need a vote. All in favor of this, say aye or yes.
I
Aye.
I
I didn't hear Cody or Jim.
am muted now. There we go. Oops.
Okay, now I hear Jim. You're voting yes?
Yeah.
Okay, and I assume Cody's voting yes since he
Yeah.
seconded it.
he did
Okay.
say.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm voting yes, so that's unanimous.
Mhm.
Oh, Pamela,
I'm
Wait.
voting yes.
Pamela, I'm so
No,
sorry.
that's all right.
Just completely ignored you as a voting person.
That's okay.
I just found our October 2023 letter that we had written.
Mhm.
Should I just put a new date on it and send it to you?
That will be great. Thank you. That will help me quite a bit.
Okay. I didn't realize it was that long ago. Okay. I thought there was one maybe more recent than that. Maybe not. Okay. All right. So then the next thing that the MOD grant application, Pamela, why did you send us that thing from the banks? Is that what they want to get the grant for? Is that, are they fund, what,
Yes.
what,
So when at the last meeting, Rob Morris stated that they were going to seek the new MOD grant application for ADA improvements at the Baines Community Center. And so I asked if he would send us what those list of improvements were. And so we received that gigantic document. So I'm using a little liberty here, but I will say that the town has set aside some money to make improvements at the banks. And I believe that this is an effort by the town to supplement that by getting additional funds. So most of the money that they set aside are going to infrastructure. The banks has a number of different like problems as far as heating and air conditioning is concerned. It has problems with
That's not ADA.
yeah.
They're not going to fund that.
No, but the list is other things. The list is they're going to make some improvements to the kitchen, and so the list includes making the kitchen more accessible. So I just asked Rob to send the list of the proposed improvements, and what he sent was um, a list of all of the proposed improvements, ADA related improvements for the bangs for the community center. I do the money from MOD would not fund them all, but that money would supplement money that the town has. So I can actually pull up because I asked him.
They need to have very specific things that they want the MOD to pay for. They can't just say, pick, we have so much on this list, give us money. That's not going to fly.
Right.
I am
So
pretty sure that is not going to fly. They need to be specific about what they want the state to fund.
I do believe that they have a specific list. I think they will end up they will end up picking specific items from the list of things that uh that they provided. Just I'm trying to look for his email. Oh, that's why. Now that I have two folders for this group, so um, so what I wrote to him and asked after he sent the list, what I said, thank you, I'll share it with the CPD. Are you going to address everything in the report? Can you describe the top priorities, right?
Yeah.
And his response was that because the construction project activates a 30% rule for full compliance with 52 CMR,
Correct.
they will have to address all of the issues that are in the report that are related to it. So the proposed changes, construction changes, or renovation of the community center will require them to bring all issues that are out of ADA into compliance. And
Right.
so
But that doesn't answer the question. Because
yeah.
that as far as I understand the MOD, they are looking for specific projects that the towns want to undertake in order to become compliant. They can't just say we need money because we're hitting the 30%. I don't think that's going to make any, they're not going to fund that.
Well, I mean, I think what they're going to do is because they're hitting the 30% mark, they are going to list. That's why I asked for the top priorities, right? Because I did not believe that they would get the money for everything. But what he sent was the information that I shared with you, and there are, he could easily identify, I'm going to say like 5 or 10 projects or what from the list. I think that their plan is to identify some specific projects from the list and then to present those as part of a larger packet of upgrades that they're doing for the Baines Community Center.
I
So,
think we should contact Jeff Dugan and find out if that's because what they're saying is we know we're not in compliance. We know we have to do all this because we're hitting the 30%. We are required, we just need extra money because we don't have 30%. My understanding of those grants is not that. Does anybody else understand the grants differently?
I think you're correct, Myra. It's this weird situation once again where, as I recall from the presentation last week, Rob was basically saying, well, the only stuff we have that's ready
Mhm.
to go is the Bang Center. And so
Mhm.
we want to get our, dibs in on the MOD money if we possibly can. And when Pamela asked for a list, he said, well, all I can do right now is send you the whole kit and caboodle. So, we seem to be once again in that situation where we're being asked to kind of approve something where and trust in the goodwill of other members of the town government that they're going to be doing the right stuff and then the things that really need to be corrected. But that's that's how I feel about the situation right now.
Yeah. I think unfortunately, we don't have a lot of time to respond, which is why I thought we should have um the special meeting at least to bring everybody up to date. I mean, they're
No, this
going.
is good, but they had plenty of time. They knew that this was coming up on May 1st. We all knew. And we talked about it at an earlier meeting. We even talked about that they should be fixing the parking in front of the Munson Library because for some inexplicable reason, the parking that we did discuss as part of that project wasn't included in the application when they did it. So,
Yeah.
and so we talked about parking and, fixing the parking in front of Munson Library, which is a separate and distinct project. It's not part of something that we're already going to do. And I guess they didn't roll it out. I don't know, but I don't think that he's going to be able to write a successful application that says we need money because we have so many violations in this building that we just need to deal with it. Now they can say X, Y, and Z came from the self-evaluation. I mean, that is what they're supposed to do,
Mhm.
but they can't just say we need it because because we have a lot of expenditure. I don't know. They need to write this correctly.
Right. So I mean, I don't know that this body will be able to impact them doing something differently. I mean, as
Okay.
Jim said, basically they said the only thing that they're willing to write on and support is the money for the banks.
Okay.
But I felt like it was important for us to at least be made aware of what they were trying to attempt to do in the banks. And
Now, this actually, if that's that, then that's that. This opens for me Pandora's box because there are so many violations in the banks that are listed in this report. Some major, not not so major. Um, most there was a renovation done on banks prior to the ADA, but certainly within the Massachusetts building code regulations. And there are things in that building that have been out of compliance since they didn't fix them in the last renovation. I am quite certain. And my question is, I went to the community access monitor training last week. There are so many things that are not, how do we say this? Not policed well by the building inspectors. And I don't know why they're not, but I am sure, and I can't tell you which ones, but I am sure that some of the things that are out of compliance with the banks were out of compliance the last time they renovated it and they didn't do it. So I don't want to be spending money for them to do these things wrong and for us to have to do them again the next time. And I don't know how to make sure that everything that they fix is actually going to comply with the 2010 ADA changes and comply with the building code changes, if you know, which are going to be with the last ones. There are going to be more next year, but that they're not going to impact this. I don't know. I have so little trust, and it's not because only of this town, but when you go anywhere, for example, when you go out into public bathrooms, I was in 3 this weekend. I found violations in every one of those bathrooms, and I don't even know the code that well. And these are places that had been recently renovated. Even stupid things like where they put the paper towels.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah.
in the code. It's actually in the code. And where the toilet paper is. Some bathrooms, you have to reach up like with an almost extended elbow to get the toilet paper. How could a person in a wheelchair possibly do that?
Yeah. Yeah,
There
you're
are
so
things,
right.
I mean, it's in the code, and they just slap this stuff together, and the building inspectors don't stop them. So how do we know that when they spend all this money, it's going to all comply? Who's going to make sure that it does?
Well, you know, what we can do is take no action on this proposal, and send a letter to whoever, the town manager or Rob or whoever, in terms of, you know, we can't take action on this proposal because we simply do not know what's going on, et cetera, et cetera. I don't know how it would be phrased, but, you know, if they want us to rubber stamp something that we don't even know what's going to be fixed or what's addressed, and you know, how that fits into our priorities as far as access in the town is concerned, I don't think we should do it.
Well, I don't think we need to do it. Do we? I mean, we've always done it, haven't we?
So
I mean,
yeah,
I don't know how people feel. I don't have an objection for, for them to fixing the bank center. It's like about time. But I don't think that, I think they have to write this up in a way that they're going to get what they need. I'm going to contact Jeff Dugan. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to ask if it's enough to say that we have all these plans and it's all part of a building, or they need to know specific things in that building that they want us to apply for.
And one other thing I noticed, the date of the report was 2020, if I'm not wrong.
That's
And
correct.
And we are in 2025. So maybe some of these things have already been fixed.
In the chart, it says yes next to the ones they already did. Right?
yeah, some have been done, have been completed.
Some
Which
of them
is what-
don't have a dollar amount attached and it says yes.
Right.
And some of them have a dollar amount attached and it doesn't say yes. So that's what
Yeah.
I'm assuming that means.
Which is, I mean, it
Mm.
would have just been really simple to have provided us with their top priorities.
Yeah.
Right.
And
Because
eliminate the ones take off from that report, you
Mhm.
know, because I got impatient toward the end and I just kept on same thing, looked from different perspective, and I couldn't really relate it because I was looking from my iPhone.
Mhm.
And then why didn't they send the updated repairs that's needing? So we
Yeah.
don't
That's a good point.
really rule the whole thing out this way.
Right. Right.
That is a good point. They could be, well, first of all, it's in a Word table and not in a spreadsheet. I was pretty amazed. But they, yeah, you're right. They could have taken out the things that they already did.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
moved them to a different part of the report. Like this has been
Yeah.
done, this is yet to be done.
Yeah. Or just remove and just take it off and these, or put another additional report. These things were or have already been addressed.
Yeah.
on these dates and that kind of a thing. So it takes a little bit more time. So they didn't want to do it. So they just dumped the whole thing that they prepared in 2020 for our attention, which is not fair. So I go along with Jim. The way it is submitted to us, we cannot take our stand. So if you can update the report and give us something which is current, so it makes more sense for all of us to appear to support it strongly, or just to say, you know,
I
that
don't
kind
even
of a
know if I
thing.
need I don't need the updated report. I need to know, we're applying for $200,000, which we'll never get. We're applying for $200,000 to do the following: A, B, C. Cost of A, cost of B, cost of C.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what they need to do.
Yeah. So that's what I asked for, and we did. We're
Didn't
not
get.
we're not gonna get that. The the other thing is that we are, they're under a time crunch because I think the grant is due before this body would meet
Not
regular
June 15th? What's the date on it? I thought it was
I,
June 15th. It might be June 1st. I don't know.
I could be wrong, but
I don't know.
but I was thinking that there was not time. That's why I thought a special meeting was needed. There was not going to be time for us to meet and reach a decision and provide it to them prior to their submission of the
You know
grant.
what we could do? We could say, we are in support of a request for specific um, uh, delineated reservation, whatchamacallit, projects, upgrade projects. I don't even know how to write it. I haven't come up with the words, but maybe we could say that we're in general support of the need to repair the bank center, but for the MOD application, we want them to select specific items that that should be applied for. We can do it that way. So if they don't do it, we can always say, well, you see, you didn't get it because you didn't do it. And of course, you don't know if you're going to get it anyway. We got one last year. We hadn't got one the year before. We got a lot of them before that. He said they always have too many applications. I mean, none of it's guaranteed anyway.
Mhm.
How do people feel about writing a letter that we're in general support of fixing the bank center, but the application needs to include specifics? Like, what are the specifics that people seem to think are the most egregious?
Mhm.
I don't know. I haven't been in the banks in a while, really looking through it. What do people think?
So who is this letter going to, Myra?
Oh, we were supposed to be writing a letter to the MOD. Is that what this proposal is supposed to be? Oh,
Yeah,
you're right.
yeah, the
Good
proposal
question,
is a
Jim.
letter of support. I'm of the opinion that that probably no action is the same as taking an action by not submitting a letter of support.
Yeah.
And that perhaps we should just leave it at that because we're not going to get more detailed information from Rob Mora. I mean, I clearly asked like, what are your top priorities so that you would
Yeah.
provide that, and we didn't get it. And time is of the essence. So I'm thinking either that Jim's suggestion that a letter to the town manager, just stating that we're disappointed that we weren't provided more specific information about the
Yeah.
MOD grant, or uh, uh, and or just not providing a letter of support for the
Or the
grant.
third option is generic. We are in support that banks has many violations, and we are glad that the town has decided finally to address them. I mean, we could do that.
My concern with that is that we're not sending a message to the planning department and anybody else that we really need to be included in the process. And
Yeah.
it just
Yeah.
happens
Too
so
vague.
often. This
It's
isn't
too-
like a one-off. It's, 14th on the list or something.
Right. And Cody is had his hand up.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Cody.
Go for it.
I agree with Jim. I think we produce a letter that says we are disappointed. So
Yeah,
we are heard, they can hopefully keep us in mind next time.
Well, what do people think?
I personally think that we should send a letter, immediate attention to the town manager and the building inspector, that there is no way we will support it unless we get specifically what the 3 projects are, as previously stated in the letter that Pamela said. And we're willing to look into, get together to approve it once we see what they are going to request the funds for, and let them throw the ball to them.
Okay, it's an idea.
Yeah.
What, so, we're willing to meet one more time if they come up with a list?
Yeah,
Okay,
if they meet, but Pamela should get that communication first, and she will let us know that they did this. And then I think then we can just find a short time to get together, because all we want to see is what they are going to propose, include in the proposal. If the time is running, they should have some ideas what they're
Yeah.
going to ask at banks. So
Yeah.
all we want to see is what it is, rather than dump us with the 2020 report with no changes. Or, I mean, yeah, maybe there is a yes someplace, but you have to have your magnifier to see where that yes is. So, they should spend some time rather than maybe the reason is the proposals are not written properly with enough time focus on what they need. That's why they don't stand out among all the other applications.
And Cody has his hand raised.
okay, go Cody.
I just have to step out for my next meeting. So, yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us. And we still have a quorum.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Oh, I actually
Yeah.
didn't. Okay, so you have to
Yeah.
leave?
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
gonna duck out soon.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so what we have to do, we have to decide, should we just write a note that says, we requested specifics about what you're going to be applying for, and we didn't get it.
Yes.
If you can provide us with the specifics, prior to the application date, or, in enough time for us to have another meeting to approve and write a letter to approve, we will approve.
Yes.
But is that what you suggested, Saren?
That's what comes to my mind,
How do people feel about that?
I think that's a good idea.
Okay, Ian,
That sounds good to me.
Jim?
That's fine. We just have to identify who it's going to. And
Well, this one is
The
going
town
to,
manager and
it's going to Rob Mora and the town manager,
Yeah.
CC to the town
Yeah.
manager. In other words,
Yes.
Pamela writes back to him and says, we met. It says, we met,
Yeah.
we requested information that we didn't receive.
yes.
We can't support something that we don't, that isn't specific.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you can give us specifics that you intend to apply for, we can write a letter of support.
Good.
That's
Yes.
that's not negative. That's like, we'll do it if you do, right?
That's
Mhm.
right. Exactly. So they should know by now if there is a deadline fast approaching, right?
Yeah. Pamela, how do you feel about that? Since you are a voting member now, I didn't mean to leave you out again.
I'm happy to do that. I will have to do that this week and then hope that there will be a response quickly.
Yeah,
If
I can
no-
draft it and send
Okay.
it to you. I mean, you can play with whatever I write. I understand you have way more to do than I do.
No.
Okay,
That's fine. No, what I was going to say,
Okay.
I am away next week on vacation. But
Ooh.
Philip will be here, and if we need to schedule a special
Yeah.
meeting, he would be able to do that. But
Okay.
I won't be in attendance.
Okay. But you won't be voting. Uh-oh.
No, unless I can manage to jump on through my
Zoom.
phone, which is a possibility. But other than that, I will not
Are
be
you
here
going
to vote.
someplace cool?
I am going to visit one of my cousin who's in her 80s, and we're trying to get her housing situation situated and
Oh,
care for her.
it's
So
a working vacation.
it is a working
Okay.
vacation. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, well, all right. Oh, town council liaison. We need to
Mhm.
request one. They
It-
want us to
you know,
request one. Do we have to say why we want one? Or do we just have to do it?
I think you just simply have to decide that you want to do it,
Oh,
and
okay.
we can and I can
Thank you. Thank you.
communicate with Athena that you are formally requesting
Okay.
a
I
liaison.
need a motion to request a town council liaison. I need a second, and then we'll see if anyone has anything to say about it, and then we'll vote. So I need a
I'll
motion.
motion for requesting for a liaison.
A
Okay.
second.
Okay. Anybody have anything to say about it that is
No.
negative? Because I assume everybody wants to do it. Anybody have anything, any reasons not to do it? Okay, all in favor of doing it, say yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, I heard Ian, I heard Sarah, Jim, I didn't hear.
Yes.
Okay, and Elise, I didn't hear.
Yes. I can't
Okay,
talk
cool.
very well.
Okay,
Sorry.
that's
All
done.
right. And
You sound
yes, for
like
me.
Elise the tenor.
Yeah. Yeah. I can do Leonard Cohen
I
really
need to
well,
be
right?
fired. I'm so sorry. I'm so used to thinking of you as a figurehead.
Oh, that's all right. That's okay.
Oh my God. And now you're a voting. Okay, okay. Let's do this better the next time. New business minutes, right?
Right.
So what's very interesting about these minutes is that they are from 2024,
I was just about
Not-
to say that. Yeah.
not
Yeah.
2025. And they are the meeting at which the stuff hit the fan. And somehow I guess we had never approved these. Is
So
that right?
I got them from we have a volunteer in the office who is drafting our minutes, and I assumed that she had placed the wrong date on it, but
No.
I might
It-
have just sent you the wrong minutes.
Yeah, well, I don't know if these were April 8th was,
Yeah,
I
this
think that was actually a Tuesday in 2025. Last year it would have been a month, right? I don't know.
Right.
You sent us, so if
So-
we never approve these minutes, we should, but they're really interesting, especially because we are talking about getting money from the state, and they said they were going to get right on it. They were going to get money to do the work on town hall, and guess what?
Right. So I think I must have sent you the wrong. So there were two meetings in April because we had a special meeting.
Yeah,
So-
that one we got.
Right. So the April 15th, I think, is correct.
Yes.
And then I must have grabbed the wrong minutes from April. That should have been April 8th from
Yeah.
2025. So I'll have to grab the right minutes from April of
Okay.
2025. But the April 15th minutes, I think, are
Yes.
correct.
Okay, so we need a motion about that was the Jones Library.
Mhm.
So we need a motion about those minutes. Wake up, everybody.
I'll make a motion to approve the
Yay!
April 15th, 2025 minutes.
I'll
It's your
second.
first official motion, Pamela. Okay. All right. All in
Yeah.
favor of approving the minutes for April 15th special meeting, say yes.
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 Yes. Yes.
Okay, and yes, that's everybody. Okay, so we're gonna get
Yeah.
those other ones, and I think we do need to revisit the entrance to town hall. And one thing I did do last week was I wrote a
Yeah.
letter to a note, like a brief email to Jeff Dugan, asking if their other access specialist named Ralph could come out here and give us some preliminary judgments about what might be done for town hall, because Jeff had recused himself and we don't think we should have to pay thousands of dollars to get
Almost.
to get an opinion. So he didn't answer me. And I don't know if it was intentional or if he didn't get around to it yet. We'll see.
Yeah.
But
So
I am I don't know. I will see. But I'm very concerned because I think I'm feeling like the town dropped the ball on this yet again.
Yeah.
I don't
Well,
know.
in
They
the
ever
in the
had the
last
ball.
meeting though, I again raised my concerns once again, and they took notes. So that's all they do. They just keep on taking notes.
Mhm.
Jim, what did you say? I missed it.
I said, I don't think they ever had the ball to drop.
Okay, well, there you go.
There-
Well said.
There is one other matter that I would raise under the
New business.
other business not anticipated within
Oh, the thing
48
from
hours.
Andy Steinberg,
Yes,
right? Thank
exactly.
you.
Yeah,
It just
yeah.
came.
Right.
Okay, you want to explain that?
So I haven't read it thoroughly, but
Neither have I.
it seems that that under the Amherst homeroom charter, town council is creating a new committee. It's a committee to create transportation and parking commission. And that body, as proposed, would include 9 members, one of which would be from this body. So the superintendent of public works, a planning director, a member from the Commission on Disabilities, which they have to reword because that's worded incorrectly in their document, 2 town councilors and 3 residents. So we just received that earlier today. I just emailed it out to everyone, just forwarded Councilor Steinberg's email. I don't know when they are looking for a response.
June 2nd.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's what I saw.
all right,
Just like a lot of notice.
yeah.
Okay, so we are
Oh.
supposed to say how we feel about the being on the, what are we supposed to comment about?
I think it's a comment about whether you're in favor of the new committee. And then, of course, the committee would include a member from this body.
Does anybody have any thoughts about transportation and parking as this group? I mean, apparently it's a problem that they want to address, but I'm not sure what transportation means. I don't know what that means.
I think it's a reference both to like issues around the parking at town hall, as well as plans for the proposed new roundabout so I think this committee would hear those types of complaints around you know, streets, transportations, parking, creation of roundabouts. I think that's the
So it's really
general
about the
idea.
streetscape, basically.
Well, I think this new body would be the body or the committee that would hear concerns around roadways. So so it says their purpose. The purpose shall promote a safe, equitable, accessible, and environmentally sustainable multimodal transportation system that supports people and goods traveling.
Oh, there we go. That's like
Yeah.
with the bus stops, with the floating bus stops and with the
Right.
bike
Oh,
lanes
God.
and with
Right.
the
Yeah.
lack of enforcement of bicycle laws and with the lack of enforcement of handicap parking violations and with that kind of stuff, right?
Right. It says one of the charges is advise the town council and town manager on matters related to public bus and rail transit systems, alternative transportation system, roadway systems, traffic circulation, traffic calming, vehicle parking, intermodal connections, transportation and parking needs of the businesses, communities, village centers, and neighborhoods, and connections to communities neighboring Amherst. So I think it's, foster public awareness on the safe use of public transit, bicycles, pedestrian facilities. So it's all of those
It's
things.
actually a really good thing.
Right. So
Now I get it.
Yeah, it's
I-
a good idea.
Yeah.
It really is.
So are we supposed to say we think it's a good idea? Now, the next question is anyone from this group interested in being on the commission?
Also, do we have to vote today, or can we vote by email before June 2nd? If we
I
have,
don't think we need to choose a member today. I think we need to say whether we think it's a good idea today.
okay.
Yeah.
I think it's a good idea.
Sarah and Jim,
Well,
Ian,
you
Pamela.
know,
Yeah.
the
Do we
thing
need a
that
motion?
comes, yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I agree. It's a good idea.
Um,
Jim, did you say you made a motion?
No, I said, do we need a motion? That's all.
um, I mean, what did you say? I moved that it's a good idea.
What I was going to say is, it seems like we do part of that work as the commission for persons with disabilities. And transportation committee does some of that work. So I'm not very clear what are they going to take from our responsibilities and assign it to this new committee or commission. So that
So-
I'm not very clear.
Right. I don't think that they were going to take anything away from this commission. I believe the goal is to have one body where you have the voices that would have normally been raised in different committees in one body, so that there's someone representing all the interest in one body.
Yep.
I do think it's a good idea, and we probably don't formally need a motion, but
No.
like if
I don't
there's,
think so either.
but we could, you know, our co-chairs could then respond back to Counselor Sternberg that the commission has discussed it and they're in favor of it. And when it's created, we would be willing to send a representative.
Okay, and people need to think about
Mhm.
seriously about whether you would like to be that representative, because to represent this well, I mean, to really have an impact, you're going to have to be a pretty active representative. I think it's an invitation to have an impact. And I sort of like it, depending who the community members are. I mean, that would make a big difference. Well, no, I mean, sometimes they set stuff up and there's no point to it.
Yeah.
And sometimes they set stuff up and there is, that it's very effective.
Mm.
Okay, like if Tracy's on this committee, they're gonna know stuff because she knows stuff. You know, she knows
Yeah.
a lot.
Mhm.
Okay, so I can write something to Andy. Jim, is it okay if I can sign? I mean, it's not a sign, but I could say it comes from two of us.
Sure.
Okay, All right. I mean, it'll just be like a response to Andy's email that we discussed it. We all think that it's a really good idea and that we're looking forward to hearing more about it, right? That's all we have to say.
I think that's correct.
Okay. All right. So I think that's it, right?
That
Do
is
we
it.
have any public comment or,
Do we have any
There's-
people here?
There's no one here.
okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Well, Pamela, I hope your vacation is okay. And
Thank
I hope you're successful in what you want to do.
Yeah,
So that's hard work.
it is. I live the farthest away from, this is my father's side of the family. So one of his first cousins, I live the farthest away, so I can only pop in when I can and do what I can, and which is mostly like write a check. But my cousin Patricia lived with my grandmother for over 25 years, and so she's dear to my heart, and I just want to make sure that she's okay and safe, and we're just trying to do that with some other relatives. I'm not doing it alone, so
Where do you have to go?
so she lives in a very small town in northern Alabama called Athens, Alabama. It's about less than 10 miles from the Tennessee border.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, so
Very rural.
yes, very
So
rural.
she in all likelihood isn't going to be able to stay close to where she lives.
Well, we have adapted a family home that our family owns so that she'll be able to move into it. So she'll
Oh,
be
okay.
she'll be and it's sort of remarkable. I was thinking about this. My grandmother died almost 10 years ago, and she lived in my grandmother's house for a year by herself, and then has had other sort of housing arrangements. And she's done remarkably well. She has some learning disabilities. She's done remarkably well on her own. And it's a small town, so everybody knows her. She can walk anywhere in the community. And I tell everybody she's going to outlive us all because she's been walking her entire life and is so healthy. And, so one of I have a ton of family. My grandmother was one of 7. So there are tons of relatives who live around her who will assist her and take care of her. Right now she's living with another cousin. So we're just make sure she's okay and has everything that
That's
she
good.
needs. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the one thing about going there right now is it's winter here right now, and it sure is going to be summer there. So.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's true.
Sandals and sneakers. That's all I'm taking.
Yep. Yep.
So,
Okay.
all
Well,
right.
thank you
Safe
so much.
travels,
All right.
Pamela.
So
Thank
June
you.
8, June 10 is the next meeting.
Yes.
Yeah.
Unless
Mm.
unless they come up with a better list and we can approve of it.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yes.
I'll write it right
All
now.
right.
All
Okay.
right. Thank
Okay.
you all.
All right.
See you
All right.
guys.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye. Bye.